Hey, it's Sammy for another episode of the I Do Music podcast, and our goal and our mission is to empower and educate musicians and artists worldwide. And on today's episode, we're talking to host of Street Watch Radio, Montana White, discussing turning his street hustle to a legitimate business, how being locked up for 10 years has changed his perspective, and his early days running with Erick Sermon and Too Short. Hey everybody, you're now tuned into the I Do Music podcast. It's your host Sammy Approved, and I'm sitting down here with digital entertainment media specialist, host of StreetWatchRadio.com, and an Atlanta strip club promotions veteran.
You gotta say that with, emotion.
Atlanta strip club promotions veteran.
Like when you come to Atlanta, you just get ready to put money in your hand and just throw it at every pretty girl you see. You know what I'm saying?
Montana White, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Sammy?
I'm doing good. It's good to have you here.
Okay, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I hear you're an OG of Patchwork. You've been around and in support of what we're doing here, and Kurt has supported you.
Yes.
Tremendously.
You have no idea.
I think I have a little idea.
Okay, well, tell me what you think, and I'll let you know if you're right or not.
Is it true that you went away for about five or so years?
No, that's not true.
It's not true?
I went away for 10 years.
10?
Yes.
Seriously?
I did 10 years. In 1997, I was arrested for kidnapping, armed robbery, aggravated assault, and burglary.
Dang, 10. I didn't know it was 10 years.
Yeah, it was 10.
But what was the first thing you did when you got out?
The first thing I did, I got off the freeway and we came straight to Patchwork.
Why did you come straight to Patchwork?
Because when I was locked up, I seen a Young Jeezy video, the making a Young Jeezy and Keisha Cole video. Mm-hmm. And they was in Patchwork, like in here. But the Patchwork, when I left, was like in a little house. So I was watching that shit and I was like, damn, like, them niggas made it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and then Jeezy name was Young. And I'm gonna say it right now. Everybody named Young is named after me. Ask Kurt. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
Every rapper in Atlanta named Young is named after me because my name was Young Tay.
Right. That was that you were formerly Young Tay. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I was signed at Too Short and I was here. And, I was running the route, during Greg Street, and I was with Short and Erick Sermon and Keith Murray, and we had the Rim Shop on Peachtree, and they had Patchwork, and it was like famous niggas, and I was like a street nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me get in. I went to the mall with Keith Murray, right? Mm-hmm. And the most beautifulest thing in the world wasn't out like a week before that. It came on BET. We went to the mall the next day, and I saw all the girls reacting. They was at Keith, and I was like, I want some of that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I came in.
Young Tay.
Yeah, Young Tay.
So, talk about you. Why you just wanted to be an artist? You were a rapper.
Nah.
You weren't a rapper?
I was actually a drug dealer. I was a kid though, and my grandfather, God bless the dead, Snake. He had went to the feds. Mm-hmm. So I was running dope from New Jersey to Detroit. And when my grandfather went to the feds, we was getting it for a gram, like $165 a gram. I was taking it to Detroit, selling it for $300. So when Pops got busted, I couldn't get to work for that price. So I came down south because G and them had the Rim Shop on Peachtree. And it was like, fuck it. I had some money. I'm out the street. Go down south. I had been down here to Freaknik and was like, like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, all the girls, they lived in dorms, no home, like no parents and shit. We was kids, you know what I'm saying? So I came down here because of that. And
from Detroit. You were from Detroit.
Yeah. And Tupac and Breed had a video that they shot at Dre Rising house. Mm-hmm. And I was in Detroit and I was like, shit, I'm going to Atlanta. You know what I mean? It just looked like that to me.
It looked like the move.
Yeah, it was the move.
It was the move.
Yeah, it was the move. Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, Atlanta is your home at this point.
Yeah. I'm here. And about me getting out and...
Oh, yeah, you didn't finish the story.
Yeah, I came to Patchwork because I saw the video. And I didn't know where people was at. So I knew I needed a spot because I knew famous niggas and I watched everybody get famous when while I was locked up on TV, right? So I came to Patchwork because I knew this would be a jump off. I knew this would be like a base. If I can come in here, I can go there. I didn't know if Kurt was here. I didn't know if Bob was here. If I could just go there and say I'm back, you feel me? I could just start from this point. You know what I'm saying? So when I walked through the door, they was like, "Oh, Kurt and Bob in the back." I was like, "Shit," you know what I'm saying? Like, and I walked in and there was plaques and shit all over the walls. It was down the hall, and they were sitting in here. Yeah. And I came in and them niggas was like, and I was like, and then Kurt went in his pocket and gave me some money, and I've been cool ever since.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's really what's up. I always hear that Kurt has. He supported me, everybody that has been on the podcast, I feel like he has supported in some way, and vice versa. You know, y'all supporting his business.
Right.
What is your relationship or like loyalty to not only Curtis but Patchwork, like beyond that experience? Like you even talking about from being at the old location.
All right. Out the streets, the first place people come to when you in the streets is the studio. That's like your first venture into commercial business, because you buying dope, you hustling, you going shopping and shit. But your first lesson in commercial business is when you come to the studio, because you get instructions. No smoking in here. Book your time. Come, don't be late. If they in here wilding, somebody will come shut your session down. So it starts to educate you about being in business for yourself, right? So when I came into the rap game, Eric and them had a studio under the Rim Shop. Mm-hmm. But Bob, I had met Bob. How I met Bob was wild. It was a whole nother story, right? But he was like, "I got a studio." So I came over here, and it was like they were starting with Outkast and the Dungeon Family, and I thought Bob was a drug dealer. That's what I thought, because niggas play football, they got on helmets. I'm in the street. I'm not really focused on this. You know what I'm saying? So I came over here and I thought he just was a drug dealer with a studio, because that's what I knew. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then I figured it out, because the girl had said when I met him, "I'm going to call the news." And I was like, why she going to call the news on the drug dealer? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? But that's another story. But when I got here, I figured the level of the game from the Rim Shop with Eric Sherman up, right? And the studio really not being a studio. And then Bob had this. So everybody from the East Coast would come to the Rim Shop first. They get off the plane and call the shop and then figure out where they was going to stay or whatever, right? So I would start coming over here with the rappers, Lil Jamal, whoever, they came to the shop, because this was the other studio was a real place, like real board, like smart people. It was Kurt, BJ, it was Clay, you know what I'm saying? It was a group of people that knew what they were doing. Mm-hmm. And then Bob was like, I didn't know he played football, but just a big dude, you know what I'm saying? So it just matched. And at the level we was playing it at, from the Rim Shop to here, made sense, because you got Too Short and you got real music industry vets. You know, mm-hmm. Short was like 9 platinum albums in at that time. Yeah. So hustling, you just put things together. You know what I mean? Like when I started doing Street Watch Radio, I watched The Breakfast Club and saw the setup, right? I had never seen like Gucci on The Breakfast Club, and then I seen Scooter on The Breakfast Club, and I was like, I know all these niggas. But I'm on a radio station out of the city in Augusta at that time. And I was like, if I just film what I do, I can put all of these people, I could do, put it on World Star to promote Street Watch, right? So I called Kurt and bang, Street Watch got his whole look and everything started. Like, again, here for me. You know what I'm saying? So my relationship with Patchwork is a growth thing. You feel me? Where you have to put yourself eye level with something that's in a space that you want to be at. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't want to be at a lower level competing. I want to be at the top. Right. So these are my friends and this is what they do. Right. So I'm going to push that, and you know what I mean, and meet them in the middle and help any way I can, because they always help me. Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about Street Watch for a second, because that's what you're doing right now. It's on your shirt. Like, this is your thing. And you mentioned, actually, because I said I can't find nothing on Montana White. I was calling and texting everybody, like trying to figure out who this guy was, and they're like, he an OG, like, but that's all we really know. And then Street Watch Radio, that's it.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, tell us about Street Watch Radio. And I guess my interest is internet radio in the digital space. Like, why do you think that that's important right now?
Well, Street Watch Radio came. When I came home, another friend of mine named Casper started this DJ group called the Hitman DJs.
Mm-hmm.
He called me. I was home like a week. He called me. He was like, nigga, I started the Hitman DJs and whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, yeah. But I was like, how you get my number? I had just got a Metro phone. Like, what is this? I hadn't talked to him in 10 years. Like, so, and I had started Casper. Like, I met him through a producer that was sleeping on his couch. And me and Casper started running around. And he would promote Young Tay. And Young Tay would have these parties. I would use the Def Squad and the Dangerous Music. That was short back then.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Casper would promote my stuff. And he would come up with stuff. And he started promoting for E and the Def Squad and doing this thing or whatever. Right? So when I came home, Casper called me and was like, I started this DJ group, and I was like, dog, like, nigga, I've been gone 10 years. DJ group, what are you talking about?
What is that? Yeah.
So he was like, meet me in Magic City. I went to Magic City, caught a cab to Magic City. It was like the first night I was in the strip club, So went to Magic City, and he was with Rick Ross. He was with Shakir, God bless the dead. And he was with V. And it was like, bam, me, V, and Shakir and Casper, all of us came from the shop, like, you know what I'm saying? And Ross I was locked up. You kicking that gangster shit. I love this nigga, you know what I'm saying? So when I came back, it was like, bam, he had a movie playing on the wall. And he put me in the movie. He stopped the film. He had like snippets of the movie playing on the wall. And I'm in Magic City. This shit crazy, because I'm in Magic City. I just did 10 years in prison. I'm with Rick Ross, V, Shakir, and Casper, and this nigga got a movie playing on the wall.
Sounds like you where you need to be.
Yeah, I'm standing there like, what the fuck? And this girl's butt naked, and I'm like, God damn it. I feel like I'm great. So I don't know how to DJ, though.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? We're going to get on the conference call. I'm going to tell everybody, you with the Hitman DJs. And bam, that's it. It's my clique. I tell everybody what to do. And this Casper talking. And I'm like, shit, we was with Rick Ross. And, you know what I'm saying? So this shit got to make sense. So we went to Miami, like, for Memorial Day weekend or something. And Casper walking around, and people was walking up to him and shit. And me and him was walking up the street when I left. People walking up to him, shaking his hand and shit. And I'm standing back. I'm like, what the fuck going on? Like, wait a minute. All these DJs. We in Miami. It's Memorial Day weekend. All these DJs, all these parties. They like, Hitman DJs. And we go to Jeezy rooftop party. We go to this one. We go to that one. And I'm like, God damn, what did he do?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, dog, it's bigger than this. But I still couldn't DJ. You know what I'm saying? I could talk shit, but I can't DJ. You feel me? So I'm watching niggas, and I'm like, I get in the room, and people know me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Either from with improv. I did 10 years, so I did a lot of time with niggas that's hustlers that came in and out the system.
Right.
And when you come back and you see hustlers and they up and they see you, everybody's happy. You know,
Right.
Jigga say, proud to see one of us made it.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? So what happened? I was on a conference call. This some times later. I'm in the strip club. I got all the rappers. I could do all the rappers, all the hustlers, all the gangsters come to the strip club. When they come in the door and they see me, or they OG see me, or they uncle or somebody, they like, yeah, I did time with, and I'm in the boom boom room, like on Outkast movie, when Big Boy was laying in bed, like, I'm gonna have a club and it's gonna be hoes and shit. I'm really that, like, in real life. That's real. I got out of prison. My dog had a strip club. He like, come. But I had, even in between that, I was on the road, Bigger Rankin. You know what I'm saying? Bigger Rankin took me on the road, like, as soon as I came home.
And you were the road manager at that point? What were you doing?
I was just Montana White. Like, if you listen to like Yo Gotti, CM5, it come on, Montana White.
Mm-hmm.
You listen to the history of Young Jeezy. It's Montana just came home. And I was just that. It was
That's
bigger, and that was
crazy.
me. And I was just like, and everybody was like, Tanner. I was like, God damn, what is this? So, and then they like rap, and I'm like, no, I'm grown. I'm not finna do that. You know what
You
I
was
mean?
over it at that point?
Yeah, when I got locked up, I knew it was over. 10 years? Like, I'm Young Tay. I'm gonna be, they can't call me Young Tay when
Big
I come
Tay.
home. You know what I mean?
They
Like,
could call you Big Tay.
yeah, my name Monte White. So when I was locked up, a dude, we was watching Scarface, and a dude from Macon was like, nigga, you Montana White. And the next day, everybody, they never called me Tay or nothing no more. But how I got into the radio thing, the streetwatch thing, was after being on the road with Bigger, after coming back to Atlanta and doing all the strip clubs, and being on conference calls and rappers coming to me, I need you to break my record in the club. Now, I don't DJ. I talk on the mic, right? Mm-hmm. So all the rappers, everybody from Future, you name them, you know, we need you to break the record. We need you to be on the conference call. By me not being able to DJ, I had to look at the future, right? I need a level to keep breaking these artists. Once we go to the strip club, literally, that's it for me, right? Or I take them to another club over here, over there. So I was like, on a conference call, like, one of y'all niggas put me on the radio. And I got a text. I'm going to call you after the call. So DJ Sly, he called me here in Augusta. He called me, was like, I'm going to put you on my show. And I was like, cool, you going to be like the man on the street. You can interview all the rappers from Atlanta, call in, and we'll play it back. But when I got on the air, he was like, I got Montana White and whoop-de-whoop, and he the man on the street. And I was like, this Street Watch Radio. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, I was going to put a show inside a show.
Right.
I didn't want to be Montana White, like, just talking. I don't know, like, just me being Montana White is not enough.
Yeah.
So I came with the show, Street Watch Radio. We here in Atlanta, and you there, right? So I get a girl. She was the first girl was a stripper, you know, because everybody likes strippers. You feel me? All my girls, all the rappers know the girls. So to grow the show, I used strippers. So I had strippers being my co-host, and we would record it. And now we get on the road because I know the clubs. Mm-hmm. You put me on the radio, now I'm in Gil Market.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So I went to all the strip clubs. The other radio DJs, hey man, what clubs popping? You feel me? So I got into the clubs through the radio station. You feel what I'm saying? Once I did that, all the strippers, the streets was like Montana here.
Right.
Because the girls travel, so the word travel. So I started taking artists on the road, like from to Atlanta, to Augusta, through all the strip clubs, right? So with Street Watch, it was like a little segment, but it was always bigger than like the 5 or 6 minutes they gave me to talk. Mm-hmm. So the internet was like Twitter, Facebook, or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's a place where you can repost information. Like if Ross come on the radio right now, if you're not listening to whatever station he's on, you missed the interview, right? So I'm looking at World Star in the Breakfast Club, and I'm like, well, if you want to re-see these interviews or rehear them, you have to go to where somebody has to upload it and put it online. And the radio station wasn't built to do that. They were built for audio. Mm-hmm. So for them having a whole video production, editing, and uploading it to YouTube online, whatever, that was never their business. Mm-hmm. And this is a small market. Mm-hmm. So they're even slower. And I'm with Bigger Rankin, I'm with Casper. You know, Bigger take me, and we go to Core DJ. Oh, this Tony Neal. So I'm smoking, and I'm walking down the hall. Oh, yeah, Tony told me to come in. I don't know Tony Neal is who started the Core DJs, but I'm with Bigger, so I'm in at the top. And this dude's like, dog, man, I'm trying to get in the Hitman. I'm trying to get in the Core. And I was like, this is the thing you try to get into? Because my perception, I never knew what it was.
Right.
So when I got in it, I was like, this is a big deal. Like, we going to conventions and shit. I didn't know this stuff was this big. You know what I'm saying? So I got into the radio thing with the idea of how to push artists at a bigger level. Not knowing how to DJ, I need to know how to talk. You know what I'm saying? So interviewing them and putting them in places like, you can give me your record right now and I can get it played on the radio. Hands down. Bing, bing, bing. Right? After they play it in the mix, the radio station doesn't promote it. See, social media is its own lane. Right? So the radio station does its job. It plays the record. It's over. Now you need a promoter. You need somebody to be like, this record playing on, this station, this record. You need somebody to drive all the social media, the traffic, the artwork, even the SoundCloud link or something. The radio station doesn't do that.
Right.
So I was at odds with the station about them not doing it. And it's like, y'all wasting my time. I come down there, interview somebody, I can't even get the audio back to put it on Twitter or something,
right.
To put it on a social media page. So I started thinking outside of them, like, I don't need them, they need me, right? And that's when I started taking, like, the internet more serious and making Street Watch a bigger thing on the internet than on radio. You feel what I'm saying? So it was like that.
You seem to run into a lot of people and run with a lot of people in a lot of situations. Not a lot of people, but the right people is better.
I'm lucky.
You lucky.
Yeah.
You
I'm
think
like
you lucky?
Forrest Gump. You seen Forrest Gump?
I love Forrest
That's
Gump.
how my life is. Real talk. Like,
that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, at the end, it was like he did all of that and didn't even know. You feel me?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I come.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you get it. Yeah, I think it's interesting because, you talked early on about running with, like, Eric Sermon and Too Short. How? Like, is it just by happenstance? You feel like it's luck, but I think that, that is a part of it, but it was kind of meant to be, like, maybe it's something about your energy. I don't know.
I'm from 12th Street, Detroit. Corner house, grandma house. Corner house, grandma house. At the other corner is Hitsville, USA, the first Motown, right? This is gangbang West Side shit, right? This is burnt down house. The house next door to my grandmother's house was burnt down, vacant lots. You go through our neighborhood, it is like Katrina or something, but never Katrina. This is what we was raised in. They put a movie out called Detroit, and it was about the riots.
It was deep.
The 12th Street riots. I'm from 12th Street. So my whole life, we knew about the 12th Street riots, and we saw, like, they never built nothing. Like, shit, just empty lots. So I went to the movie to see, I got it, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But how I got here, my first role model, my grandfather, he a drug dealer. He knew Nicki. All that East Coast shit when they be like American. What was it? American Gangsters or some shit like that. My grandfather knew Nicki. He knew Fat Cat. He knew all of them because he was in Jersey getting the heroin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we'd go across the bridge and pick it up. And how I got here is, even then, like, when I was a little kid, I knew all the drug dealers. I went with them over their girlfriend's house and played with their little sisters. I was the distraction. You know what I'm saying? My mother was the daughter of a big drug dealer, so I had all this shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so gold teeth and shit. Like, it was, like, it's incredible. Forrest Gump. Yeah.
The trap Forrest Gump. That ain't.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm meant to be here, but here is a physically, I'm an idea of what I see. Okay. You feel me? Like, if I see a successful person, right? Like, of course, I'm from the street, so the first thing I seen of success was like niggas getting fresh. Like, you get fresh. That's success. So I seen, somebody in the hood that was fresh, and I wanted to be like that because that's what got the attention. I seen, some gangster shit. Everybody was into it, so I got into that. I seen success in, I knew I wasn't tall enough to dunk. So playing basketball, I didn't see success in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I can't do that shit. I can sell these rocks though. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
But I didn't see success in school. I saw it in the streets. The first success I saw in the streets was the rap game. You feel me? Like, I knew dudes who went to the pros or whatever, but the most honest, the closest thing from the streets to selling drugs, the next step was the rap game. Mm-hmm. My grandfather was, one of his partners was a dude named Hafiz Fareed. Mm-hmm. Hafiz managed the Lords of the Underground, Naughty by Nature, and Redman. And he used to come to the shop in Jersey. So when they blew up and they got with G, like Eric got with G, that was my link to the rap game. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that was no education, high school dropout. So I got some money. I'm going to go where I know successful niggas is at. And I was like,
your way.
Yeah, that's what I saw. So that's what I wanted to be. So you gotta be around what you see. Like, I said, I'm gonna be a rapper, right? I'm in Eric Sherman's studio. You feel me? I'm in Too Short. I'm in Patchwork. Like, damn. You know, it's dudes at home and shit recording in a shoebox. You know what I'm saying? They dream is to get right here. Mm-hmm. This is the top. So in many ways, this is like a part of my success. Like, you know what I mean? This success, I'm a reflection of that. You feel me?
Let me ask you this. So you pretty much just stated that, like, your, like, the lifestyle, like drugs and being in that particular lifestyle, being like in the streets, was kind of in your blood. Like, that's what you knew, right?
Right.
But, you know, after spending time away, like being locked up for 10 years and, you know, starting a new venture of doing, you know, how technology has advanced so much, you being on the internet, doing your digital thing, do you feel like you've escaped trouble, or you still like feel like that's just a part, it's always going to be a part of you?
One.
Or do you want to, would be a better question.
One thing is, you can never, see, I got 3 phases in life. I got before prison, prison, and after prison. Mm-hmm. People have traumatic things that happen that change them, change directions. And then people, like, you can be in the hood and be going to the county jail and shit, and that's nothing. That's, you just go back and forth. And that really doesn't change you until, you know, somebody gets shot or some shit like that. Well, with me, when I went to prison, I had a record deal. I went to prison from a studio, Purple Dragon Studio. We got surrounded by the SWAT team. It was a board in that, like that. I had a U-Haul truck. Then was $1 million. I had a U-Haul truck outside, right? We beat, pistol whipped, did all the gangster shit. Picked up the engineer, start unplugging that motherfucker. That's coming out the door. You know what I mean? So, with a record deal, with a chance like a Future, I still was on some street nigga shit, and that's $1 million lick. Them niggas is gonna give us half for that. Diddy and them wasn't out. You know what I mean? Like the big car was a Lexus. My grandfather a drug dealer. So this shit, I'm used to the money being this rap shit, this slow money. I don't understand this record shit, you know? I understand the popularity, but not how to get paid. So when we went to prison, I was sitting in prison, I realized that I was in prison for money. Like, my life's pursuit was money shit, you know? When I was in the hood, I had a mongoose, you feel me? I had they had mopeds, Sprees and Aero 250s. I had that shit. I had Gucci sneakers, like, at 12 and shit. Like, my mother took me to the Gucci store, and the lady in the Gucci store knew who I was because I was a kid going in there with grown niggas. And my mother was like, how you know him? And shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So when they sat me down, I had been Tay for so long that I hadn't figured out that I was growing up, you know what I mean? And now I got 10 fucking years, right? And I'm down south, and You seen the movie Life? That shit real. They like that up north shit. And I'm like, nigga, I'm from Detroit, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I was like, damn, these niggas are savages. And all of them, the wave that we went to prison with, the new niggas wanted to be rappers. So niggas was in there beating on their chest and rapping. And like, nigga, when I get out, I'm going to get on and I'm going to be straight. And I'm sitting in there. I don't freestyle. I don't do shit. I don't know how to beat on the table, but I got a goddamn record deal.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be my life change. But nothing traumatic had happened to me. Just niggas getting killed or going to jail or whatever. So when I was sitting in there, I decided to educate myself. So I started getting books and newspapers. I wouldn't read no fiction. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting the newspaper, books, and shit like that, right? So everybody in prison knew who I was because I was just with Too Short. So I knew all the hustlers. Like when I was walking into dorms, it was niggas who had been to the clubs or the rim shop or something. Mm-hmm. Like the drug dealer niggas was locked up. Mm-hmm. So immediately I was straight, but I started learning what money was and not a thing where money is not a thing. Jay-Z said it, we don't talk on the phone. You know how niggas take pictures with the money. When I was locked up, I would get pictures. Niggas with money, girls, cars. We did rim shop. We selling 20-inch rims. This was the only place you could get 20-inch wheels. You know what I'm saying? So all the high shit I just was looking at and it was making me sick. Like, damn, I got 10 years. Like, I ain't finna see none of this shit. So I started ignoring it. And I started thinking like how worthless it was. A picture with a nigga flashing money. So I was like, So I started learning about what money was and who I was, right? And a dude from Colombia named Juan Jimenez. He was a little Colombian dude. He was a doctor without borders. He was like if the flu broke out, like in a widespread, or a virus or something broke out in the area, he wouldn't go treat the people. He would go he would sample the water and shit like that, right? So I'm getting this from Source Magazine to Black Enterprise. I mean, my people had businesses, rim shops, car washes, laundromats. None of these things I learned how to operate. I just was around. So I would look in Black Enterprise and I would see the dude who went to prison, came home, and now he got a barbershop. I would look in Essence. I would look in Jet, Ebony Magazine, and see these people, you know, you was in jail, you wrote a book. You did something to beat this system, you know what I'm saying? So I started studying shit, read shit. Then Juan came in. When Juan came in, I was getting the USA Today, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the Wall Street Journal, all the black business magazines, Source, Vibe, you name it. Mail call came, I wouldn't even have to go to mail. I was the most valuable asset in the dorm because I had all the newspapers, all the magazines. So I would, like the library in that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? So when Juan came, he came to me, he was like, yo, man, when you finish with your stuff, let me read it. So he would get the Wall Street Journal, he would get the money section, he would get the business section. These are sections I would read because I liked shit. The new Jordans and shit like that. None of the people in the chain gang wanted these sections. They wanted the sports section. They wanted the Metro section. Dumb shit. The obituary. Let me see who died. Like, nigga, you locked up. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit crazy. This nigga want the obituary. This nigga can't read, but he doing sports scores like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? This shit insane, right? So this nigga wanted the business shit. So Juan, he was in jail because he wanted to get he had 3 kids. He wanted to get them $1 million a piece and just sell off and do medical shit or something, right? They got busted, of course. Somebody got popped. He ended up in there. But he knew how to read. Like, give you an example. The flood in Houston. All on the newspaper. The front of the newspaper. All you see is victims. People, help. They on the top of the roof. What a businessman sees is opportunity. You know, we gon' like Home Depot skyrocketing right now in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like the nigga who make doors or the electricians, they about to get paid. You know what I'm saying? And I had never looked at life like that. You know what I mean? So I started reading the paper different and seeing how the front page is a reaction. In the business section, it's finna tell you, we finna pick this apart. Yeah. You feel me? And we finna get this money. You know what I'm saying? So being from the street, like, buy low, sell high, you know, cheap coke, cheap whatever it is. The business world and the savagery in the savageness in Wall Street, you looking like this nigga just hit a lick, the Ponzi shit. This nigga just hit a lick for, he going to jail for how long? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, we in the wrong game. And even now, like Damon Wayans had, like everybody now talking about swiping. But Damon Wayans had a movie called Mo Money back then about swiping. But we on this guerrilla gangster shit, this tough shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, wrong. So in there, I saw myself getting older, right? And when I was a kid, my grandfather told me, he was like, we driving this shit. He had a Cadillac Alante. It was a 2-seater. This shit was like the Cadillacs of Cadillac sports shit or whatever. So we driving across the bridge. I don't know where we was at. But my grandfather was so big that if he took you somewhere, like I got uncles and shit, if he just took you, you was like the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like at that moment, you was the shit. So me and him riding across the bridge, and he was like, yo, man, if you want to get money like this, by the time you my age, you're going to do 20 years in prison. Right? And I probably was like 12 or 13 or some shit. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, shit, Pops, you got this shit, so it can't be everybody else go to jail, you know what I'm saying? So when I went to jail, he was in prison. 2 of my uncles was in prison. My grandfather and 2 of my uncles was on the same case. They was in the penitentiary, I was in the penitentiary, and 2 of my cousins was in the penitentiary. And I had just got 10 years, and I wrote my grandfather and was like, I'm done. Like, I can't, shit, you know, like, I can't, this shit crazy. I'm Back to the Future, so when I get out, I'm gonna be 30, like, old or whatever. So in there, I decided to, that the streets couldn't do it, so I had to educate myself, so I did the GED. When you in the system and you want to change your life, you have to understand what the system is. And now that you behind it, now the system is on top of you. Mm-hmm. When you just a person with no felonies, you like, the system. See, you can still work with the system, but once you become a felon, that shit is, and if you on some gangster shit and you listening to this, don't catch a felony. That's the worst thing you could do. Like, that shit is insane. Mm-hmm. Once I figured that out, and I'm learning, I'm reading this shit and all of this, I said to myself, well, forget about the felony. You need to figure out how to come home like you coming home from bankruptcy. See, the felony is only gonna fuck you up if you go ask for something. But if you come and you doing your shit and you got your credit score and your shit right? So then I figured out that I needed to be a businessman and not the street nigga. So I need to learn what business is, right? Mm-hmm. So I started forming my idea about business, and at the same time I'm watching TV, and the NBA goes from it's coming on CBS or some shit to WatchNBA.com. Mm-hmm. And all of these Fast Company, Entrepreneur, all these magazines that I'm getting, it's this internet boom, and then it's this Gmail. Hurry up and get a Gmail name. 1 million people registering Gmail names and shit like that. So I got like 5 years left. So success, right? Mm-hmm. I'm seeing successful things adapt to the system. Everything's a .com. Everybody got a Gmail. So I called my mother and I had her do Felony World. Felony World at Gmail, felonyworld.com. It's like I'm 5 years in. So I know I need these things when I get out. So even right now, you go on Street Watch Radio, YouTube, it's under Felony World at Gmail. So you know what I'm saying? Even that. So when I came home, or just knowing the music business too, like Napster happened when I was locked up. Like, not being on the streets, you don't have the tools, the everyday tools that people have. So while you locked up, you existing through headphones. You know what I mean? So the cassette tape turned into the CD player. You feel me? Shit, like, you could see the change.
Yeah.
So I started looking for the change. And this Napster shit happened. This MP3 player shit happened, right? So along with the Gmails and the .coms and the shit like that, right? So I saw the successful hustlers. They didn't just have phone numbers, they had email addresses, and you know what I mean, and websites and shit like that. So I followed that trend again. So when I came home, like, Kurt made my first logo. He made the Felony World logo.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause
man of many hats, huh?
But that was me knowing a successful person.
Right.
To know, because niggas when I came home in 2007, niggas was like an email address. I don't even use that. They was like, I'm gonna email you something. It was like, shit, I gotta remember my password. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But I'm around Casper. I'm around Bigger Rankin. I'm around Kurt. These are successful people. They traffic in music online.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just fit into that whole. If I have to communicate with them, I can't call Kurt and be like, yo, man, I'm gonna come pick up a disc or some shit, and he can be like, man, I just email that shit to you. You know what I mean? So I have to fall into the category of the people that I'm dealing with.
Yeah,
you know what
kind of
I mean?
adapt.
Yeah.
So what excites you more than money, if anything?
Opportunity. You know what I'm saying? The chance to be able to do something like what if you only knew how to get money out the street, right? And that's just it. Like, I never had a job, so I never went to apply for a job to work to get money. So since I came home and I don't get no money out the street, every opportunity that's legal, I have to adapt to, adjust to, try to figure out. But I'm also carrying this business that I started, because when I came home, my probation officer sent me to the welfare office so I can apply for some shit or whatever. The welfare office had 10,000 people. Women with babies, drunks, alcoholics, bums, niggas with their shoes off. Never been in a place like this. At the same time, I had all my paperwork, my Felony World shit. Kurt, hey, nigga, I need a lawyer. I'm finna start this company. He sent me to this girl out in LLC, my shit. She sent me downtown to the register at the Capitol. I walked in there, was 3 people in there. And this is where you legalize your shit to get money. Welfare office, 10,000 people want $250 a month. Start your own business, 3 people. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunities and learning, like, I learned how to be successful hustling. So what if I can be successful in business? You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, we got the Atlanta Turkey Classic. Commissioner Larry Johnson from DeKalb County, T-Mobile, PNC Bank, like I started in the strip club, getting all the strip club owners to give me money to go buy turkeys. I get all the strippers, I line them up. You can go on YouTube. Line them up. We go in the grocery store, shopping carts full of turkeys. We give them away on the streets. For a couple of years, it rained. I was giving them away in the 4th Ward and at a strip club on the south side in the parking lot. But it rained, the weather was bad. So I met a dude, he got a basketball team. So we put the basketball team with it, and we started doing it at the center, like making a basketball game and give it away to turkeys. Now, this comes from me emulating success. They put me on the radio in Columbus. The radio station niggas in Atlanta is giving away turkeys. I'm on the radio. I live in Atlanta. I'm finna get some turkeys because I can, right? So the club owners gave me a whole bunch of turkeys. We started giving them out. As I meet people, right, who want to do good things, not just rich people, but like community-driven people who go to work and then go to a shelter and help people. Me being in the strip club every night, all I see is money. All I see is greed. I see greed and happiness and unhappiness at both extremes. Drunk happiness, getting married happiness, bachelor party happiness. I just got a bag happy, high happy. But then I see the other side. She didn't get no money. Somebody stole her shit. She's super drunk. This bitch a thief. Like, I see all of that too. So when I started doing like the giveaway and people be like, thank you, or call me anytime I'll come help you. I'm a taker. I grew up selling drugs. Like, I am at the extreme. I cook dope. I put it in the needle. I watch niggas shoot up. I was in the crack house. It's the trap now, but in the wintertime, and it's like the TV on, the static and the crack smoke just floating through the room. I've crack baby, snotty nose, all this shit I came to take. I didn't come to help this situation. This, you smoking dope, you got a kid in here, I'm gonna give you some dope, we gonna sit in your house and sell dope. I was never there to fix the house. You feel me? But now that I'm grown, now that I'm a man, and now that I've seen the impact, and I don't have to make money in the street. When you have to make money in the street, you have to go along with what's going on. Mm-hmm. But because I'm not in the street doing it, I have a different perspective. So with like the food drive and stuff, it started bringing people that help people and not just the takers. So I started using that against the takers. You talk all that big shit, nigga, I need some turkeys. Mm-hmm. Oh, you talk all that big shit, you don't wear shit twice, I need the clothes, we gonna give them away. You know what I mean? So once those two worlds met, opportunities to work with businesses and shit. And I have to work on my etiquette. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And my business professional dealings. You know what I'm saying? But it started bringing another kind of energy, people into my life. You know what I'm saying? So with the food drive, like we got Commissioner Larry Johnson. We got this one. We going for Fulton County, right? Because if I can do it with the commissioner, right? The commissioner joined us, right? Now I'm going to duplicate it from this, because now I see it in counties. Yeah. You feel me? Like, okay, I got the commissioner here. We got Marvin Arrington over there. We just did some shit with. We finna turn that annual. Now we got these annual events. So we 4 years in with the commissioner. We got 800 turkeys already. So in 10 years, like the opportunity, like what the 14th annual one gonna be like, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
I really
what
love
I'm
that.
at.
I love that a lot. I wanted to say, because you mentioned something about you not ever having a job, and is it that you couldn't imagine working for somebody else? You just have that natural like entrepreneurial spirit about you, or is it you just never had a job? Like,
I never qualified for the job.
You never qualified for the job.
I dropped out of school in the 9th grade.
This is true.
You feel me?
Today in 2017, there's like you talked about, or you spoke about opportunities. I mean, I just think it's just a lot of opportunities. Definitely a lot of opportunities to start a business,
right?
Which I respect.
More.
Yeah,
way more. And it's a thing where you have to teach kids their value and the value of structure. Mm-hmm. See, my first example of structure was the streets and like gang shit. So if I have to fit into that structure to survive, and not just survive, get fresh. I'm not one of them. I wasn't the tough guy. You feel me? I'm gonna get fresh. Shit, I'm gonna get the girls. I'm coming up in the gym. I got my shit on, my chains. Y'all niggas play basketball. I don't do that. He's from 12th Street. That's what I wanted. You know what I mean? But because I didn't qualify saying at 12 and 13 I could get more money on the corner than McDonald's, and McDonald's is not hiring a 12 and 13-year-old.
Right,
you feel
right.
me? Once I got lost in that, now that you 18, I done been a juvenile. I smoke weed every day. Like, I carry a pistol, getting a job, and I know how to get money. I've been to the bank to put money in the bank. I've never been there to cash a check. Ever. You feel me? So I learned both sides, but then I got locked up when I was 21.
That's true.
You feel me?
That's
So
right.
I came home a convicted felon. So what is the job market? You know what I mean? Like, so you have to start your own business.
So how do you feel, like, in terms of, like, you know, young people listening right now, like, in terms of education, do you believe or do you see value in going to school? Since you dropped out early, that was your circumstances, but in terms of people listening now, like, do you think there's value in going to school and college for everyone?
Education is a system. You have to understand the value of the system you're entering, right? If you're going to college, right, you should understand what that system is. Not only the degree, but the friendships you're going to make, how that system expands, what this system is connected to. Then you'll win. But if you just go and you're going to party and you're going to fuck off, then you get kicked out of that system won't let you back in. You feel me? So now you out here amongst the millions of systems that's already going, and you just got kicked out of the only one you took for granted. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to educate yourself. What system you choose to do it in, you have to be educated in that system. I went to prison. You feel me? That was a system that I had to survive in. And not only survive, be respected in. There's no thriving in prison. You have to be respected in prison. You know what I'm saying? So any system you have to educate yourself on. Not only that, with the internet, with how the old system, the old walls are gone, right? And everybody, oh, the internet, this and that, this and that. You have to be conscious that the old guards are going to take over the new system. They have the money, they have the resources, they have the politicians. You know what I'm saying? So they will all like internet radio. Streetwatch Radio is bigger than all the stations on the internet that it was on. A radio station has a local antenna. That's it. V103 is only big here. You feel me? What's V103 presence online? Zero, because people start listening to Spotify and shit like that. So V103, its presence and its value is for the Atlanta market that antenna serves, right? Because people here couldn't hear me on the radio. It was in that market, and they slow, and I'd be like, man, go online and listen to it. And they was slow, shit was buffering and all that. I took Streetwatch and made it as accessible as possible, and my point was to make it bigger than the radio stations. You feel what I'm saying? So now people have to look at their value or their business value online, because all the top businesses, Uber doesn't have cars, Alibaba doesn't have inventory, fucking Airbnb doesn't have hotels and shit, right? So, and then all of this new industry with no hard product but access, right? Where's the connection? The phone.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to understand who you are and what you're doing with your business and put it into that phone. Now, for me, Streetwatch value is less locked into that radio station. Once I figured out, just go straight to the
Internet, yeah.
there. And that's your access point. You know what I'm saying? So like 2 million streams a month, 100,000 followers over here, 100,000 followers over there, and it's for the brand. Like you was like, Montana White, you can't. Like, you look up Nike, you don't look up the CEO.
That's real.
You feel what I'm saying? Street Watch is bigger than me because of the perspective. I have a high enough a level of understanding to understand politics now, street politics, how to merge the two, you know what I'm saying, with our past, our present, and hopefully, you know, what we see in the future. So it's like, you have to educate yourself now on how productive you can be online. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that financially, because if you don't have money in the bank, if you don't have a debit card, then you won't be able to operate this phone as well as you can. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So to all the kids or hustlers or whoever's listening, I was telling the dude the other day, he, hey man, I need my song on the radio. I need my song on the radio. And I'm like, look, even if I put your song on the radio, you need to think about where your song is online.
Right.
Because the radio station, even if they played your song 24 hours a day for 7 weeks, it could not beat how much traffic or how many plays you can get on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on, you know what I mean? So where is your music at? You just telling me V103 playing it. That's not enough.
Where can I go get it?
Yeah, in this change. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Tell people where they can watch or listen, because you're on YouTube. You're everywhere. Street Watch Radio.
Yeah, streetwatchradio.com.
Yes. Yeah. And they can tune in, and you have... Do you have multiple hosts? Like, how does this work?
Yeah, like right now I got Ginger. She's down in Houston. Mm-hmm. So she's reporting from Houston. You can go on streetwatchradio.com. You can hear Ginger. We do entertainment, like updates, report, media traffic, trending stuff. Tonight, you know, you can come to the strip club. Tonight I'm at the Diamond Club, but you can come to the strip clubs, Tees, Blue Flame, the Diamond Club. You know what I'm saying? V Live, and you can come turn up with me and the strippers. I know y'all coming to town. Y'all really want to see Atlanta. Y'all got to come party with me. You know what I'm saying?
Interstate traffic jam at Kamal's 21. What was that like?
That was, Kamal's 21 was a phase in Atlanta strip clubs. Like,
I just remember being in high school listening to Travis Porter, like, we in Kamal's. I used to always think, like, dang, I wish I could go to Kamal's.
Yeah,
I was so young.
We got in trouble for that because we ain't 21. And we, you know, I'm like, come on, man. Y'all can't say that. You know what I'm saying? But it's the strip club is an experience. Just like if you go to Miami, you got to go to South Beach. Mm-hmm. So if you come to Atlanta, you have to go to the strip club, eat you some chicken. It's the best food. You know what I'm saying? The best girls. You're going to see the best tattoos. You know what I'm saying? On women. You feel me?
Kamal's 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the person y'all need to talk to.
For sure.
When it comes to the Atlanta strip club scene, and also internet radio. You got it on lock. So we appreciate you coming to tell your story. It's very insightful.
Right.
I can't lie. Right. For me.
Yeah.
So I know they hearing it.
I have no idea what I just said.
You said a lot, but you know, we'll let you hear it back.
You know what I'm saying? Go to streetwatchradio.com, do your thing. And Channel 10 Atlanta, right?
Channel 10?
Channel 10 Atlanta.
Dope.
You know what
That's what's up. Where can they find your social media if you want them to see
Street Watch Radio. Right. It's Street Watch Radio on everything.
Everything.
You know what I mean? On everything.
Cool.
You feel me?
Well, we appreciate you, Montana White.
All right.
Street Watch Radio.
Yeah.
This is the I Do Music Podcast. And as always, y'all can follow me at Sammy Approved on all social media platforms. Until next time.
Right. Black Power. Right?
Black Power.
Black Power, baby. You know what I'm saying? Sonic.